Got a charcuterie board, a cheese board, pate. You can do it too. Anybody can faux it. Check it out. All right, so it's Saturday morning, one of my favorite times to be alive. Saturday morning, I get up pretty early, do a little reading, and then I start planning what I'm going to cook. It's my day to cook. Today, my bride has asked if I would do a charcuterie board with homemade pate, which is one of my specialties. It's not really a recipe. I'm going to try to do it as a recipe for you, but I just throw some stuff in a pan. We'll get into that. I got all dressed up for you. I'm wearing my Elvis Costello shirt, my favorite artist. I'm wearing my Lakers hat, and that is my favorite sporting team, so got it going on. So we have chicken livers. We're gonna rinse them off just a little bit. Then we're gonna take and throw them in this bowl. And what we're gonna look at on our chicken liver is there's a lot of these strings. I'm gonna try to remove some of them. Once I get that done, these are actually pretty good. There's a few in here. Try to get all this sinew out. All right, they actually look pretty good today. So one thing I do with chicken livers, sometimes with fish, is I'm going to add in, I'm going to soak these in milk for just a moment. Just enough to cover it. I don't have a measurement for this, but I found that when I do this, it really tends to make the product a little smoother. It just kind of takes out any bitterness, it kind of smooths it out. So there we go. I could use this to get my shallots very thin. Because when we put our shallots in this butter, we want them to almost emulsify. The reason you use a shallot is that the great thing about shallots are it's like onion, but it's about 3 times as potent. We're going to turn this flame up a little bit. So Saturday morning I have to do this because we're going to get this pate in the fridge so it'll firm up. So right now, got my shallots just about emulsified. If you look in the pan here. And because I'm a faux chef, I measure with a teaspoon and just don't fill it up. So there we go. Give this a quick stir around. Now what we're gonna do is not let the dog in, but what we're gonna do is take our chicken livers. I use this pan, 1, because I love Le Creuset pans, and 2, because it's the enamel over the top of the enamel coating the cast iron, so it's a super even heat, but everything kind of doesn't stick. So we're going to do these, and the key is not to overcook. Once I can get a little brown on both sides. But anyways, so I'm going to drizzle in my brandy. It's about a little more than half a cup. I'm going to let it simmer for just a minute. And then we're going to light it on fire. It's amazing. And now all this is so we get that flavor of the brandy, but we definitely don't want to taste just brandy. And we don't want to get a burnt flavor on it. So we'll put a lid on it, and that chokes it out. That was fun. Let's do it again. Let's see if it'll do it again. Oh, I'm gonna burn a little more off. I can smell the alcohol as it's cooking, and I definitely don't want it to taste just like a glass of brandy. I like brandy, but not that much. And we don't want the kids to stumble away when they have their pate. And once again, we'll go back with our lid, choke off the oxygen that's getting to it, that's making it burn, and there we go. All right. Well, let's take a look and see. So this is going to be the texture that you're looking for, because once we chill it, but you want it to be light and fluffy. You want it to be, this is a pate mousse. Traditional pate actually is done with chunks of meat and not thinned out. So this is really a mousse, but we'll taste it. Yep. Fail. All right. Still a little gritty, so I'm going to pulse it a few more times. I want it to be smooth. Smooth operator. All right. There we go. That's going to work. So we're going to take everything off of here. See, I'm so special, I'm even using a Le Creuset spatula, so it can be hot or cold. Now, I'm going to take, and I portion these into a couple of different containers, and the reason being is that I don't want it, if I'm not going to use it all, I don't want to use it all. But try to do something cute and pretty and fun. Because when you want to make your charcuterie board look like you actually are professional, everything has to have a special little container, a special look. You'll see when I get out my 5 different types of charcuterie boards I will make, as far as the actual plate that I put them on. And so, Beau Chef, I get to eat my stuff. All right, so as you can see, I'm cleaning this up, but there you go. That's a good sized portion for 5 people. We've got our pate. It came out really good. Topped with a little caviar. If you notice when I made that pate, I didn't add any salt whatsoever. I had enough salt content coming out from the butter, and then I'm going to put caviar on it, which are those mini salt bombs all over the place. So if I was serving a group of people who I thought maybe they weren't going to like the caviar, I might put it on the side instead of right on, but my kids will eat caviar, so that's good. So let's go to our cheese board. Got a few grapes here for some sweetness and some apples. I took those apples and when I cored them, then I sliced them thin and I added a little bit of lemon juice, and that lemon juice keeps it from browning. They've been sitting here for about 25 minutes. So our cheeses, we have some stinky moldy cheese, blue cheese back here. We've got some brie. This is a triple cream brie. We have Drunken Goat, and it's a goat cheese. It's made with red wine soaking the rind. So they call it the Drunken Goat, but you really can't get too much of the alcohol flavor to it. And we have our smoked Gouda, and then up in front is Manchego. That's our favorite. That's a Spanish type of, it's almost like a pecorino or Parmesan cheese style. It's a little crumbly, but it's really good. So let's go over here. Now here's our board of charcuterie. And so I put some acid on this plate. See, we have the stone ground mustard here. We have the sweet pickles here. So we have speck, which comes from northern Italy, and we're praying for those people over there because it's the Lombard region and we know what's happening there. We got some sopressata. I like it a little bit better than just a regular dried salami, although it comes the same way. Make sure you peel the rind off the outside or else people will have little pieces of paper in their mouth. We have bresaola. Bresaola is actually not pork, but it is beef. But it's done the same way, smoked and dried. We have prosciutto, of course, and now we're going to get to finishing up here so that we can have a little bit of dinner. This is dinner tonight, so we're living it up.
Looks pretty good.
It's perfect. It's actually perfect. It's actually perfect. Faux chef, going around. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of wine. There's many different types of wines. You can read a lot about what people say, what you should have with your cheese and meat boards. If we do drink, which we've cut down tremendously, we drink usually Cabernet, Napa Valley Cabernets. We love those. And this one tonight, we're gonna have just a glass, is the Plump Jack 2015 Reserve. I think it was rated 100 points, which is like perfect. So we're gonna enjoy it, but here's what we're gonna do, because we only wanna have a glass each. We're gonna use our Coravin, and it's a game changer for having nice wine and not having to drink a whole bottle, because it's probably not good for you to drink a whole bottle by yourself. Not that it hasn't been done before, but so all you do is remember where you're at. I always face it right straight back to the back of the bottle. You set it in place. You have this needle pierce through the cork. There we go. Now you have an access to the wine. And you just have to kind of give it some air. And it'll pour on in. And then when we take this Coravin out, the seal is in the cork still. And we've let bottles go for 2 or 3 months and then revisited them, and they came out just as good as the first time. So that's a nice single glass. We're going to do one more. There we go. Then we're just going to pull this back out. And as you can see, The bottle is sealed back up. You can hold it upside down, no drips. It's perfect. Put it back in the fridge, save it for another day. Okay, and of course, because we're faux chefs and faux foodies, we'll have a little Pellegrino with our meal tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice.
Charcuterie for everybody.
Cheers, Clyde.
All right, dig in.
Dig in.
I can't wait to be just like my dad, Daddy Faux Chef.